cards, 2 new decks of cards, so that means it's time to meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Ann Johnson. Hi, Ann.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Won't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm Ann, and I'm a Cal State Theater Arts major student, Cal State LA, and I've done a little modeling, and I'm a good tennis player.
Good. Well, that's nice. You're confident. That's
You better believe it.
Are you confident about the game?
Yes, very.
All right, then we'll get started. You both cut your cards in front of our audience.
Yes, you did.
And here we go, starting the best 2 games out of 3 with a question to the champion, Chelle. Chelle, we asked 100 mothers who have a bachelor son over the age of 30 who is living at home with them. Are the women your son dates just not good enough for him? How many mothers who live with a bachelor son said those women are just not good enough for her son?
I'll bet that bachelor has heard that line more than once when he's thought about taking the plunge. So I'm going to say that's a pretty high number.
These are the mothers we asked.
Right. They're telling it to the sons.
Right.
I'm going to say that it's 60.
60 out of 100 mothers of a bachelor son over 30.
I agree
She's
with
not
the
good enough.
audience. I agree with the audience. It's got to be higher.
Even higher than that?
Gotta be higher.
If it's higher, Ann, you'll play your deck of cards. If not, it'll be Chelle with hers. The actual number of mothers who said those women are not good enough for their son is 32. It's not higher, it's lower. Chelle. And the champion gets the first look at her cards. A 9.
Oh,
8.
change that 8.
You won the question. You have the right to change it. A 7.
Well, let's go higher.
Higher than a 7. An ace.
I love it. Lower.
Lower than an ace. A 5.
Higher.
Gonna risk it higher? Yes, a king.
Oh, lower.
Trying to go all the way for the first game of the match. She did. Well, 1 question, 4 cards. What, Chelle? What did you say?
I said I mean business.
You mean business. Yes, indeed. So that's game 1 of the champion. And now here come the next cards off the top of your decks as we start game 2 with a question to you this time, Ann. And right away, you've got some catching up to do.
I know.
And we surveyed 100 prison inmates. These are all men who are currently serving time in San Quentin prison. We asked them, if you had a better lawyer, would you be out of jail today? How many inmates said yes, if they had a better lawyer, they'd be free today?
Oh, I think all those inmates would like to blame anybody else but themselves. So I think I'd say 65 said higher.
65 said, if I had a better lawyer, I'd be a free man.
Right or wrong, I think that a convict's going to believe a good lawyer can get him off. And I'm going to say that even higher.
Even higher than that? The actual number of prison inmates who think they wouldn't be in jail if they had a better lawyer is 76. You're right, Chelle, it is higher.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again, she says. And she starts with a 7.
Change the 7.
Changing it. A
Oh,
king.
good. Lower.
Lower than a king. A 9.
Freeze.
Not going to try to do it again. Move over the freeze bar, and that protects you. And, of course, it keeps Ann away from her cards. Chelle, we asked 100 first-grade children in Massachusetts. Have you ever told your mom you brushed your teeth when you really just wet your toothbrush?
Oh, yes.
How many first graders admitted they have?
That has to be a high number because kids hate to wash their face and they hate to brush their teeth. Let's say 78.
78 said, oh, I brushed my teeth when they just wet the toothbrush, Ann.
I trust kids, and I don't think they'd lie. I've got to say lower.
Lower.
Gotta say lower.
Because you don't think they'd lie.
No, I don't think so. I didn't lie.
The actual number of first graders who've told their mom they brushed their teeth when they really just wet their toothbrush is 27. Very much lower. And honesty paid off for you, Ann.
Okay, I'm raring to go. Here we go.
Gets her first look at a card. 8.
Change that card.
Getting rid of it. 6.
Oh, higher.
Higher than a 6.
Lower.
Lower than a jack. A 5.
Higher.
Higher than a 5. A 4. It's not higher, and back to the base card goes Ann, giving Chelle a free chance to play off the 9.
I know it's against the odds, but I'm going to say higher.
She's got a feeling that this is higher than a 9. No, it is not, so you could not take advantage. Shows what I know. Question 3 to you, Ann. And we asked 100 bachelors for $10,000. Would you give up all women for an entire year? How many bachelors said yes, they would?
Hey, if I know men the way I know men.
Who do you know men?
They're not going to give away their fun for anything. I'd say...
How many would, though?
I'd say 30.
30 out of 100 would give up all women for a year for $10,000.
Well, first of all, the IRS is going to get a chunk of that 10. And with inflation nowadays, that's not that large an amount to start with. So I'm going to say that it's not a very even trade, and it might even be a little lower.
Ah. But you were knocking down the dollars as you went along. The actual number of bachelors who would give up women for $10,000 is 54, not lower. And maybe they figure they're not going to tell the IRS.
Change that card for
And
me,
can
please.
get rid of the 6. A queen.
Ah, lower.
Lower than a queen. Oh, no, a king. Again,
good.
Anne could not advance. Chelle with a 9.
Let's go lower.
Going with the odds this time. No, another 9.
I couldn't win.
Now we fill in the spaces, and we are at sudden death. Someone's going to have a long way to go. This decides control. Chelle, we asked 100 fashion models in New York City. Have you ever turned down a modeling assignment because it required you to pose nude? How many models said they've turned down an assignment like that?
You know, I think that a lot of models keep themselves very thin and might not really think that posing in the nude is the most advantageous. Maybe a little clothing to drape on them.
How many have turned down such an assignment?
I'm going to say it's a high number, and I'm going to say that it's 68.
68 out of 100 have been offered a modeling assignment that required them to pose nude.
As I said, I've done some modeling, and it doesn't matter how thin you are, they're not going to do it. I'm going to say a higher amount said no to.
So you said no, so you say
job.
higher.
Right,
The
higher.
actual number of models who've turned down an assignment that required them to pose nude is 40. It is not higher. Chelle, you get control of the board.
9.
Well, Chelle, before you decide to change it, let me
Oh, it's
explain.
sudden
It is
death?
sudden death.
It's
Yes, with a
all
9, you need
yours.
3 cards, and with a queen needs 4. You have control of the board. You're already pointing.
All hers.
And if you can turn them all over, you win. But if you make one mistake, the game belongs to Chelle. With a queen, start calling.
Lower.
Lower than a queen. A jack, 1/4.
Lower.
Lower than a jack. An ace is not lower, and Chelle wins it in sudden death. So Chelle put the pressure on the challenger. She had a long way to go, but it sure worked out well for Chelle. She's going to get a chance to redeem herself with the money cards. Anne, thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun. We have some nice parting gifts for you. Ann Johnson, thank you, Ann. And Chelle, come on down here with me. Oh, corner, we want to see some good ones this time. Chelle goes for the big money right after this commercial break, so don't go away. Ready to go.